Hello and welcome to the daily number workout. Today for fifth grade, we're doing the number 62. So let's get started. Our word form, 62. Hopefully you are getting really good with this. It's probably taking you a half a second to create your daily number workout. Because it is a 2 in the ones place, it is even. Let's move on to our factors. So 1 times 62. We know 2 goes in because it's even. So we want to get out our scrap paper to do the work. If you do it on your own paper, that's fine. I'm just saving chart paper because it's expensive. 62 divided by 2. So we're doing some long division here. 2 goes into 6 3 times because 3 times 2 is 6. We subtract that out. Nothing left, so we drop down the 2. 2 goes into 2 one whole time because 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract that out and we get 0. So our number here is 31. So 2 goes into 62 31 times. And so then we take a look at this number, and it is a prime number. Nothing goes into 31. I can't think of any numbers that you multiply to get 31 whole numbers. So we are done. All right, let's move on to multiples. So we have 62. 1 times 62 is 62. Let's go on to 2. 2 times 62. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 6 is 12. So we have 124. 62 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. This is great practice for your facts, remembering your facts. 62 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 6 is 24. We have 248. 62 times 5. 5 times 2 is 7. 5 times 6 is 30. 307. 62 times 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Drop the 2, carry the 1. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 1, 37. 372. 62 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. Drop the 4, carry the 1. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 1 is 43. 62 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Drop the 6, carry the 1. 8 times 6 is 48 plus 1 is 49. So we have 496. And we have 62 times 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Drop the 8, carry the 1. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 1 is 55. So we have 558. And then 10 times any number is that number with a 0 in the ones place. Boom, we have the first 10 multiples of 62. All right, so we're ready to move on to our fractions, decimals, percents, and ratios. So I'm going to move my paper up. And all the information that we've already written down, we use in calculating the rest of our daily number workout. So let me move those up so we got plenty of room. So of course we have the 62 out of 100 days of the daily number workout. And we know that 2, the only factor that would go into both these numbers. So we're going to divide by 2 on the top number and divide by 2 on the bottom number. So we already know that 2 goes 62 31 times. We already did that work. So we're done with the numerator, the top number. And then 2 goes into 150 times. 2 50s make 100. So our lowest term fraction is 31 50ths. So this is our lowest term fraction. All right, let's move on to our decimal. We go back to our original. So we're talking 62 hundredths, which would be written in decimal form like that. And if we are getting 62 cents off of every dollar, that would be 62% off. And our ratio If we found it in research or statistics, would be 62 to 100 or 62:100. We do this every day. We really get good with our basic math concepts. So let's go ahead and write this in words. So this is 62 hundredths. If we're writing it in decimal form, it is 0 and 62 hundredths. And then we can take our decimal form and convert that into money by just adding a dollar symbol. So 0 and 62 cents, $0, $0 and 62 cents. Little different terminology, right? All right, we're done with our partial numbers using our number of the day. Let's move on to area and perimeter. So we don't have much to do today since we only have 2 factor pairs. So let's start off with our first one, 62 by 1. So area equals width, 62 times height or depth, 1 equals 62 square units. Now our perimeter is just adding up the sides. So we have a 62 plus a 1 plus a 62 plus a 1. And so we know 62 plus 62, 2 62s from up in our multiples is 124, 125, 126. Adding those up real quick, and those are just units. Let's go to our next one, which will be a 1 by 62. And all we're doing is changing the order of the numbers because we've changed the perspective, how we're viewing the shape. And of course, that's going to just change the order, but we still get the same results. 126 units length. All right, let's move on to the next one. So our next one, we're just going to draw it out here is 31 by 2. So our area equals 31 width by 2 deep equals 62 square units. Our perimeter then is the 31 plus 2 plus 31 plus 2 equals. So we know 31 plus 31 is 62. 2 more is 64. 2 more is 66. So we have 66 units. All right, we're going to change this one up again, and we're just going to draw it this way, 2 by 31. So we change the perspective. So we're just flip-flopping. We got 2 width by 31 tall equals 62 square units. And the perimeter is a 2 plus 31 plus 2 plus 31 equals, and the same because it's the same numbers, just in a different order. All right, let's go on to volume. So we're going to take the first one there, and we're going to draw it in with depth. So we have a 62 wide by 1 deep by 1 tall. So our volume would read 62 times 1 equals 62 cubic units. Okay, and then we're going to stand it up. And we got a 1 by 1 by 62. So we have a 1 wide by 1 deep by 62 tall equals 62 cubic units. Then we're going to have a 1 width by 62 deep by 1 tall. Looks something like that. 1 by 62 by 1 equals 62 cubic units. So we're using the same amount of cubes, 62 of them. We're just changing up the perspective or how we view them. All right, let's go on to the next one. So this would be I'm just going to draw this cube here for you, 31 by 2 by 1. So we have a 31 by 2 by 1 equals 62 cubic units. Then we're going to have a 31 by 1 by 2. So this one's just, we just kind of flipped it around, 31 by 1 by 2. So 31 wide by 1 deep by 2 tall equals 62 cubic units. All right, then we're going to change over here. We'll put it over here and we're going to do a 2 by 31 by 1. So 2 by 31 by 1. So over here we're writing 2 by 31 by 1 equals 62 cubic units. Then we're going to do a 2 by 1 by 31 tall. So we're just going to draw that out. Doesn't have to be perfect. So we got 2 by 1 by 31. 2 by 1 by 31, still equaling 62 cubic units. Then we're going to do a 1 by 2 by 31. 1 by 2 by 31. So that reads 1 by 2 by 31 equals 62 cubic units. And then we're going to have a 1 by 31 by 2. 1 by 31 by 2. Last but not least, 1 by 31 by 2 equals 62 cubic units. So we have 3 representing our 1 by 62 factor pairs, and then we have 6 different ways of writing our 2 by 31 by 1. All right, we're done with the number 62. Have a great day. See you for the number 63.